Good morning, everyone, and get ready with me while I talk about an issue at my high school. Now, I say my high school because it's really big at my high school, and I and my friends have really noticed it, but this happens at every high school, not just my high school. I don't know if you guys play on sports teams or have friends who play on sports teams, but if you know anything about school sports, they're really competitive. Every school wants to beat each other. There's a lot of trash talking going on. It's just a really competitive zone. The biggest issue that I have noticed at my school in particular is the way that people hate on their own school. I know you're probably like, Maya, that's not true. People go in their school bleachers and they cheer for their school and whatever. But you'd be so surprised. I am a female student athlete at my school, and I play basketball, volleyball, and I run track. And over the last few years, especially since I've transferred from schools, I've noticed how school spirit and school environment is so different everywhere. And the one thing that seems to prevail every single time is the way that schools as a whole like to band together and bring down their own athletic teams and athletes. And now you may be like, oh, Amaya, you just came on here to talk about a social issue within high schools and you're choosing something like that because it seems small. But really, when you dig deep and you think about it, it's actually a really big issue. And I'm going to tell you why. Filling my brows with shade espresso from MAC. Anyways, when I think of high school, a huge part of it is sports. Whether I'm playing, watching, student coaching, it is such a huge part of any high school everywhere. And I feel like people don't really recognize that because you've had it, so you don't know what it feels like to not have it. Myself and any other high school students my age can account to how important it is because we have felt what it feels like without it when it was COVID. School sports all around just add a whole nother twist to high school and just make things more fun and exciting and make it a little bit more bearable. Now, what I've noticed, especially within sports that have a crowd and are indoors and have more people watching, people definitely come to show their support, but it's more or less showing their support and more of just something to do. Either way, it's always go Rams, cheering for your school until things stop going your way. This is when the crowd starts to hate on their own school and kind of just bring down their own school's energy. And not only that, but we're in the era of social media, obviously, which took athletic hating to a whole nother level. Now athletes have to play not only with fear of impressing their fans, but also not ending up on someone's social media page. So that brings me back to the big issue that we need to nip right in the butt, which is schools hating on their own school. I'm going to tell you guys a quick story that is going to boggle your brain. So I currently play on the Ajax High School girls basketball team, and it's great. We're doing surprisingly well. And there was a point we were playing a game at, I believe, Dunbarton, and our own school, a few people came to come cheer us on, or so we thought. We had already been winning that game, so we didn't necessarily need the extra support, but you know what? It could have been nice. Keyword, could have. The people from our school were only able to make it for the last bit of the last quarter of the game because they had obviously been in class. At this point, our coaches had already put the bench on the court because we were winning by a significant amount and it was their time to shine. One of the less experienced players on our team was playing defense and fell on her butt. Not due to any crazy move by the other team, just because she was a little bit uncoordinated and this isn't her sport. Setting with Mario Badasu spray. One of the people in the bleachers from our school, not from Dunbarton, happened to catch it on video. And you'd think, if someone from your own school fell on defense, you'd want to delete that because you want your school to look the best, right? Wrong. These guys took the liberty of posting that on their social media. And now there was this video going around of someone of our own school being dropped. I obviously can't account for how she was feeling, but I could only infer that she was so angry and that she definitely was not happy or impressed. And yes, guys, I promise I told that story for a reason. It's leading to something. MAC Blush in shade Raisin, literally my favorite. When we have our own crowds or anyone has their own crowd hating on them, it makes it so that the athletes, they just don't want to play anymore. They don't want crowds, they don't want anyone watching, and they feel embarrassed and ashamed. which in reality never should be happening with school sports because obviously they're just for fun and most of the people aren't actual players of that sport. It's extra silly to hate on your own school because what if those people do go through with not wanting to play anymore and then you don't have sports teams, you don't have banners anymore, and you don't have that fun and competitive era going on with all the other schools? I think something like that, it can really affect someone's mental health, and not only that, but you want your school to succeed, and the more people you have doing sports, the more likely you are to succeed. It just doesn't make sense to hate on them. Can never go wrong with Lash Princess. And really, this is such an easy issue to fix. All we have to do is be more positive. If you have a friend you're sitting beside that is bringing down your own school, hit them on the side and be like, yo, we want our school to win. Or ask them how they would feel if they were the one on the court being hated on by their own school. I think positive school spirit is just so important and people often overlook that, and I don't know why. With that being said, there are definitely some implements that teachers and staff have put because they don't trust the school to be positive and to not just be negative towards their school teams. So there are things like no people allowed to watch games oftentimes, which can be complained about, but obviously the staff sees the positives there. I think for this issue to be changed, we need to convince our staff that we're ready to be mature and to be supportive of our school teams, and we need to, as individuals, ask ourselves, how would we feel if we were on the court? And just like that, boom, problem solved. With that being said, don't forget to promo for your sports games and obviously bring that school spirit. That's all for the makeup today, guys. Bye!